everyone. We are so excited to be back once again to get together and talk about real woman issues that concern friends, wives, mothers, educators, and entrepreneurs. I cannot wait to start the show, so let's get going.
All right, and we're back. I like that. I like that low.
So good.
That low.
So good.
That low.
Oh no. Okay, so the difference between the video is that now they'll know that who's singing what.
They need to know the truth.
Well, I can no longer be like, that was Kisha that said that.
Good, because all you do is lie on me all day anyway. All right, so
okay,
girl, friend fix.
Almost 2 years in the making. Do you remember 2 years ago when it was my birthday?
I was trying so hard to stay focused.
We can't. Sorry, we just don't. That was my Barbara Walters.
I don't like you being Barbara.
Remember when 2 years ago on my birthday?
Okay.
Birthday month means subscribe. All month long. So I got dressed and everything to go and do our first podcast.
And it was the snow.
And I went outside and my car was frozen like a popsicle. Like the entire car.
I remember
it was like this thick. Like,
we were so sad.
I was like, and I was dressed. And
we were ready. Ooh, we
and
were
I was
ready.
like, oh, because our podcast would have started in January. And then we messed around. And it ended up launching like in March. Because it was like after Valentine's Day. We had taped it in February, but then I don't think it actually aired until March. But I was like, man, so every time during this time of year, I'm like, it's our anniversary, but I'm like, it's really not. But we planned like heck on that day because we were like, we're virtually planning out all the stuff. And that was on my birthday. 2 years ago.
I forgot about that, girl. Look at you turning back into an
elephant
that can remember.
I know, because I was like, oh, we got something.
Yay.
And look at us now, Ma.
I love it. Friend fix. You know
that was Kisha.
You better go in that falsetto.
Friend fix.
There you go. That's more your tone there. So, the other week, I decided I wanted to go shopping for some shoes. So, in my heart, I just wanted some black tennis shoes so bad. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was like, black tennis shoes?
Yeah.
Like, suddenly, I just got the gumption.
Better than white.
I don't know. I'm like, well, my school colors are black and gold. Okay. And if I get some black tennis shoes, I can wear them to school on the little, Spirit Fridays.
Right.
Like, I have all these. And then I'm going to Disney, and the shirts are black and white, and I can wear black tennis shoes.
Right.
So we go out.
You don't have to worry about if you have white, they get all dirty and scuffed up. Okay.
So we go out shoe shopping, and like I just feel like all of the black and white shoes or black shoes look like old lady, and I was so frustrated. I was like, I want some black shoes so bad, and so I think I called you, and I was like, I want some black shoes, but they all look old lady, and you kind of agreed with that sentiment.
And even like I have a pair of black tennis shoes. They're like those, I think they're Toms, but they're leather Toms, like lace up high tops. And I've never worn them.
What size are they? I want them.
It's not that. It's just like once I put them on, I'm like, nah. And
right.
Put them
so
back.
I went through that with my black wedge Toms, the high top.
But those are
big ones.
Cute. Are they tennis shoes or are they like booties?
they're booties.
Right.
So
Cute.
Yeah, I can wear them now, but like for about 2 years, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's just this thing about black shoes or if it's black tennis shoes. And so I'm talking to my husband. I'm like, help me find some black tennis shoes. We're at all the little sneaker stores. Mm-hmm. And he was like, it don't matter. It ain't nothing you putting on gonna look right. And I was like, but why? I want black tennis shoes. So
why was he saying that though?
He was
because
like,
they're black. Like I don't.
He was like, ain't nothing gonna look right with them pants you got on.
Shut up! I wasn't ready for that.
He was like, it don't matter what kind of shoes you put on right now. The pants you got on gonna make you look like an old woman. And I was like, what are you talking about? These are my favorite sweatpants. We are out here frolicking on a Saturday.
And I know the pants.
And right. So I called you because I was upset that he was insulting my pants. Because I was like, babe, but even Sharifa got some that she liked to run around. She liked to lounge in.
Lounge.
These are our favorite lounge pants. And I called you and you were like, so you just been waving. What'd you say?
Ring, ding, dong. You been ring, ding, dong all around
ring,
town.
ding, 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 dong. So look, it was, everybody. I know good and well. Y'all are not listeners. You are not going to make me feel like y'all don't have some good, comfy yoga pants.
That you ring around town in, or that you
scoot around town in.
Scoot. Show them.
No,
please.
So
okay.
I was like, I called Sharifa and I was like, Sharifa, my husband is picking at me about, those faded.
Oh, you said, I think you have a pair too.
Yeah, I was like, I just got on my yoga pants. I'm pretty sure you have a pair too. Mm-hmm. I was like, they're a little faded, but they're super comfy. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh,
the ones we wear in the airport. Show them.
So my husband was like, yeah, they're the ones you and Sharifa wear to the airport, not going around town. I was like, but I didn't realize we were going to do all this when we left.
Okay.
I thought we would, I don't know where I thought we were going, but I didn't realize.
So you said the black shoes wasn't going to work because of the pants you had on. Let's focus on the topic at hand. Show them.
So here are the pants.
Show them. Put them up closer. Let them see. Yeah. Ring, ding. Why are the shoes so bright? Why are they so bright?
Oh my gosh. And I love these shoes. I love these pants. Oh. You are going to have to tune into our YouTube channel if you want to see what the pants look like. And I'm going to actually post it on Instagram for sure after we release this episode.
Okay, listeners.
Because y'all have to see it. I know I'm not the only one with a pair like this.
I have a pair like that. I also don't wear bright white shoes.
They're not white. They're rose gold. They're rosy. And I don't know why you can't see that on this. I'm going to try to edit it.
I think that I wear flip-flops.
Oh.
I think it's more like or my Uggs. So you don't see the bells.
Oh.
So it's kind of like I don't know that because you actually have to lace up these shoes. So you getting ready to go somewhere with these shoes on outside of lounge. You've gone from leisure to date with these shoes you done laced up.
Maybe I shouldn't have laced the shoes. Would that have helped?
If you wore shoes without laces, then it would be like, oh, just bumming around, gonna slide these on and head out. But the fact that these shoes had full laces, you had to tie, you reached past the bells, raised them up, and then tied them. I don't know, but I felt like a little bit sad when you were like, I threw them away.
I did.
Because I was like, I didn't throw mine away.
So the hubster was like, look, TJ Maxx got a whole line of brand new. Girl, Girl, you're on.
Sorry, you're not.
A whole line of brand new, more up-to-date fitting. And in all transparency, y'all.
Are these some?
No.
Okay.
In all transparency, I had those boogers probably since my first year teaching.
I believe it.
Bump you.
My mom gave me mine.
What year?
It was for my birthday, which is this month.
I think we know.
She gave them to me. It must have been about 5 years ago.
Oh, see, mine were way older.
But these are great. Like, they are like these. There's this great tummy stretch at the top of them, ruching. Like, they're high.
I've never seen any of that on those, but you know,
because hello, they're underneath the shirt that I have on. I'm not gonna
so why are you bringing up all the?
They feel really good and they're well made. Like they're
mine weren't okay.
I didn't touch yours to see what the quality was. She also gave me this cute jacket to go with it and the sports bra. I think I was having one of those years where I was like, I just want to work out.
Probably, and she wanted to support you.
And I get on sweatsuit kicks where I'm like, I just want a sweatsuit. Like, I have one that I got. I think it's the winter time that makes me feel like, okay.
Yeah,
I got some joggers.
Right.
And like a little Nike jacket, like the combo. And I'm also wearing my little North Face onesie that I think is a sweatsuit too, that I could just knock around.
You do love that. It makes me want one.
But I never wear stuff like that, so I get on a kick every once in a while to be like, let me get this. I just want to lounge around. And so
I feel like I'm in that place right now. And so I welcomed the idea of him telling me I needed to go get new ones.
Oh, yeah, because you know what that means.
That was just an excuse. I mean, all I need is an excuse. And so I went and tore up TJ Maxx's little workout. I think I was on the phone with you when I was doing it. Mm-hmm. But I did feel a little bit insulted by him.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what is that piece that you have been wearing and wearing and wearing and
you know good and well
that yes, you know it's old, outdated probably, but it's okay. You still want to wear it. I may have, I don't know about that many pieces like that anymore. I know my husband has a lot of those pieces.
Well, my mama and my husband double team me from time to time because there is this one orange little sundress that I used to love.
You be killing it.
Oh my gosh, I was killing it. And I think my husband and my mama, my own mama, not my mother-in-law, but my husband and my mama plotted for him to get rid of it because they were tired of seeing me in it.
I remember in college one time I actually took one of my roommate's shirts and taped it to the wall and put a piece of paper and said, "Do not wear this anymore."
Why? Because
it had holes in it. She wore it so much.
That's in style now.
It bothered me, and she will tell you to this day. She'll be like, "Oh my God, remember when you did that with that shirt?" And I was like, "No more. Stop."
Well, so I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know that yoga pants with the bell bottom were out of style. I thought we could still wear those.
Also, Kisha, those bells were up higher than the shoe. Like, why were they so short?
So, whatever.
You grew since,
Whatever. Anyway,
show the picture again. Let me see.
Ain't.
Anyways, yes.
Y'all want to see it again?
Leisure, joggers, right? Like Sheree said, joggers.
So after I have to be honest.
Look at this. Ground pants.
I have to be honest with y'all. After I saw this picture of myself, here's another angle just in case y'all didn't get it good.
You look like a granny. Somebody's granny legs.
I do. Like, so when I took it, I didn't believe it was me. I was like, this can't be my legs. So, I mean, that's what really inspired me to go ahead and throw those away.
I love that. You know, I really do. And, you know,
what do you love? What do you love?
Shout out to the husbands who, like, will check their, like, my world famous half the time doesn't even know what I have on. Okay, so the fact that your guy notices and says, well, that won't work. He's a problem solver. That won't work because clearly those pants are not it. He probably was thinking it the whole time walking around with shoes.
I'm so sad that I walked around
hearing them bells
all over the place.
And he ain't say nothing.
I mean, he did at like the second stop.
So does he say stuff like, are you going to wear that?
No.
Before you leave the house?
No, not really. I usually do pretty good.
And
like, I had a moment of weakness.
Yeah,
okay?
You're definitely not a horrible dresser. Like, I think opposite, you dress really well.
I think that at that moment, I think I was just rushing, just like, okay, we about to go somewhere. Let me put this on right quick. Or
running errands.
Yeah, or I might have said, I think I remember what it was.
Mm-hmm.
All I was supposed to be doing was dropping him off to get his car washed.
Oh. Okay.
Then we were like, wait, we want to go to Hobby Lobby. Wait, I want some black tennis shoes.
So one thing led to another, and then here you are, out and about.
Yes, Lord.
Aw, well.
It's just as embarrassing as being in the liquor section in the grocery store.
Oh, my God.
Anywho.
Well, what a friend fix. I mean, sometimes your husband is your friend fix.
Yeah, he fixed me. I have thrown those away, and I have and it actually even prompted me to take a hard look at a lot of things in my drawer. And I got rid of several things that day. I was like, get rid of it. And I am in that place again, just like you were last year. Mm-hmm. I'm in that place of I'm sick of the clutter. So,
well, that book, Marie Condon, she has a Netflix now called Tidying Up. And so I've been watching that thing, binging it. Because, you see if you read the book or if you haven't, because most of my friends heard it through me. And then started like, oh, I need to do stuff like that. So they can even tune in and be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. It's really sweet if you just like that. And I think that the thing is that they look into the homes and the majority of it, like the weight of the house is on the mother. And so they look at like a lot of other problems surrounding that. And she addresses like being grateful for things you do have and letting go of those things. And why would you be holding on to it? There's emotional relationships with the things. I'm in there crying.
I need to get Netflix.
Yeah, it's really cute. It's really good. I recommend the book, but also if you don't want to read the book, then you can watch the show and get an idea. She doesn't cover every single aspect of the book in one episode, so it's like she may go into this thing in this episode and then the next, and she doesn't even speak English.
Oh, it's captions.
Mm-hmm. Because she's Japanese. So, in reading the book, you wouldn't know it because it's translated into English. And then she's with these American people.
Sharifa. Duh.
I know. I was like, wait a minute.
I've been hoodwinked.
Hey.
Bamboozled.
But it's charming. It's very charming that she's like, my sister was like, I don't like the fact that they're playing into the Japanese stereotype of she's like very like this little teeny person, and she's very like accommodating, and she's like, that's a stereotype. Why are they making her be like that? And I'm like, well, maybe she is like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's playing the role and getting that money, honey. But it's cute.
Is the information good?
The information is very valuable, and she's definitely out here like fixing people's houses and lives. So go ahead,
That is
girl.
so cool. How do we sign up? I want to be featured.
I know.
On the show.
I'll give them something to talk about on that show.
Right, for sure.
So cute.
All right. So next is our teacher talk.
Yay. What are we talking about?
Waiting your turn. So at dinner the other day, me and my cousin, we were having this conversation about a young lady first we were talking about, and I hate saying this because I am a millennial. I a millennial, but millennial nonetheless. I'm sorry you missed it by a year.
I'm a zennial.
I'm
a proud zennial.
I was in there. at the very end. I'm on that edge.
Sliding in.
And I am like, I'm sliding in for sure.
How long did it take you to post on Instagram?
It's none of your business.
That's not millennial.
Hater. So,
hold on. I met a millennial who talking about she doesn't text. She only lets talk on the phone. I said, get out of it. Ain't no millennial. You get out of here.
You got mad.
I was like, what kind of business are you going to run if you don't respond via text? You going to wait to talk to somebody? Good luck.
Why you... Girl, don't get turned up on
Poor
that
girl.
baby like that.
Poor
she
girl.
missing all the money.
She needs a mentor.
Why didn't he sign up?
Nope.
So, because she made you mad about it.
Like, okay, I don't like that.
So, we were talking about millennials, and we were talking about how sometimes we have to have everything laid out, and they can't just like flow with it. Like they can't just bob and weave and be like,
walls. All the walls. I can't.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, they didn't tell us to do this. Oh, what do we do with this?
Disgusting.
So, I mean, it's just, it's so high stress. It's like, woo, child. Take a deep breath. We're going to figure it out as they come in. I promise. We're not going, yeah. So, we got to talking about that. And we also had a situation where this young lady that I work with, just been in the game, the education game for about a year or two. And she was like,
you see me?
I'm ready to go into leadership.
Okay, well.
But this same young lady has not been on any leadership teams in the school, has not taken the forefront on any type of initiatives or like gotten anything started within the school.
You say 1 year, 2 years?
2. After 2 years, she was like, if they're an AP position,
a position
or an instructional coach, I would love to do those.
Okay.
And so today's topic is waiting your turn, and what does that look like? And maybe we're the crazy ones in putting in the hard grind and not just jumping out and saying, "Give me." Maybe we're approaching it wrong, but I just don't know how you are going to be a leader in a setting of professionals if you have not invested in what you're trying to lead.
Right. So I remember the conversation, and I know you probably do too, when I spoke with a principal of mine, and they...
Some years ago.
And I, expressed interest in a leadership position, and they said, well, I think that you need to put yourself in the position where I can see you leading. And that was 12 years in. So, and it was, my response was, well, Google me then, because I already have done that for years and years. Like 12 years of that. Maybe you don't know me, but you might need to check about me. Like, that's what I felt. So I could see that being the response to a 1 year or a 2 year. Like, start to show me what you've done. But after a certain amount of years, I feel like if you aren't seeing it by now, then that's just, that's not.
So what should one do in that time? Like, for sure.
So basically, okay, and I am by no means like our end all be all. I did all this and I deserve mine. But I was also in the leadership cohort under the previous principal. Headed up AP meetings, facilitated advanced learning at the school. Represented the county in tons of professional developments. Tons, 12 years worth. Led data teams, instructed data teams. So, I was like, oh, you really, are we doing that? Do you want me to tell you all the things that I've done?
Your resume.
So, for me, something like that, yeah, you should. have done the things in order to even express interest. And, you know, you get put on that track because you express the interest. Okay, well, if that's the case, then we're going to put you on the leadership team, and then you're basically going to run all the errands for the administrator. You're going to run all the meetings. You're on that, hey, can you come and do this for me group? And you're basically, it's implied, but I don't know. I guess I'm just old school. I feel like you put in the work and you learn the processes, and then you position yourself for the position. Like,
and I think just the aspect of maturity. So, you know, maybe you are an old soul. Maybe you do get along, you know, first or second year teacher. Maybe you do get along with older people. But, like, I do think that it takes a level of maturity to be able to lead. Like, the majority of the teachers in my building are younger than older than I am. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I'm in the top 10 of the youngest folks in the building. So, yeah, we got a lot of older people in our building. Mm-hmm. So, if I were not mature enough to deal with the older people where I could get the respect from them, and I promise you, I would not get the respect from that teacher that's been teaching 25 years if I had only been in the game for 2 years, or, you know, or had never led anything, or, you know, like, even starting something from the ground up. That's a great sign of leadership, because you have to pull the team together to collaborate and to do the thing, to get some tasks accomplished.
And the thing is, too, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, you know, there's so many people who are just trying to jump straight into leadership. Like, do you understand that the most valuable thing is the teaching part?
Right.
And if you don't understand that and you're jumping into the leadership part, then you're missing an entire, like, you're missing everything.
Right. That's an education within itself.
In another field. But you cannot lead from another field into education without knowing the ins and outs of actually being in that position. Like, right. I don't feel, and there's some people that move through so quickly that they miss it and they are not successful in administration or in leading anything. I also feel like, and this is my only thing about going into administration, because I never wanted to be an administrator. I wanted to be an academic coach. But I feel like if you go into administration, I feel like you should be allowed to teach a class at least every other year or something like that.
I know. Because that would be so nice.
Yeah, because at some point, you're antiquated.
Right.
Like, at some point, like, I can tell you my own personal experience when an administrator told me, I can teach you a thing or two about classroom management, and the last time you were in the class was when I was in school. I'm like, oh, the game has changed, and I don't think you can tell me anything about that, because all you see is what you would have done in this situation, but it's not tried and true at that point. Mm-hmm. So you're ineffective in what you can do if you haven't even, like, going into that, and they don't allow administrators to even go into that situation. So it's kind of like teachers are not going to give you that respect, period, because you don't really understand what's going on right there at that time.
So I met a lady whose daughter was a principal, and she made them work that into her contract where she got to teach. And your favorite Ron Clark, he still teaches classes, like,
or something.
Right. So
he has his hands on the kids.
Right. So I would value that even as a principal, like I mean, an assistant principal. Right. That would be great. Like, and I get geeked up when I get to be in the classroom and lead a classroom, and you know, I felt myself going back into teacher mode when we had our administrative talks the other day, where each grade level came down, and it was cool because I was like, well, you know, I'm going to show the teachers who I was as a teacher because I was leading the group like I would as a teacher. And I could see them watching me, and I felt like they were evaluating me, but that was fine because I was like, this is who I am. This is who I was as a teacher. And I felt like it was valuable. So to your point, I felt like it was valuable for them to see me leading students, because I do think that sometimes with certain administrators, we can become skeptical on what their skill set truly is.
Yeah, and then if you're a little bit rusty on your skill set, if you are presenting in front of faculty who do it all the time and your stuff is not good, then I'm like, ooh, so when you're looking
at us,
at me, what are you looking for? You want this boring lesson, or you want something that's going to entertain? Like, what is it that you are expecting? Be careful what you're expecting of other people.
I think about that too.
In front of other people, you just modeling mediocre. Like, I don't know. I feel like that was the only reason why I felt like I would never want to go into administration, because I'm like, I love the kids. Like, I want to be around them, and I feel like coaching would have been a closer chance to be able to at least have your hands on them if you don't have your own classroom. But in administration, it's kind of like the discipline. And one of my administrators who, she used to be a science coach, but she was like, I really, really miss the classroom. Like, I miss the kids. Like, we were working homecoming or whatever. And like my interaction and the teacher's interaction with the students was totally different than the interaction they have to have. And it's like, oh, she was like, oh, I miss like knowing them versus like the few bad kids that come in or whatever. It's just not the same vibe. And I was like, oh.
And I think that is true because I knew that about myself when I was a high school administrator. That's why I started that's why I carried my mentoring group to the high school from when I was in the classroom. I mean, and it was a lot. My principal my last year at the high school, he was kind of like, you do realize you're the only administrator I know who has their own extracurricular activities happening. Because I had started a gospel group, gospel choir. I started the mentoring group.
No wonder. No wonder you're so good with me and mine.
So, yes, you're vocal. So, he was like, what are you doing? But I knew myself. I was like, I've got to have this part. Yeah. Or I'm getting away from what I love. And like now, fast forward to elementary school world, which I didn't have this at middle school, which I think is part of the reason why I didn't like it. But now fast forward to elementary school world, I go out to their recess. And I'll be circulating for discipline things. But girl, it is inevitable. Every time I do it, I get a little crew with me. And they're walking around the playground with me, just talking my head off. So I do end up building relationships like that. And I know this sounds crazy, but like a lot of times the kids want to be around me instead of their own teachers, which again, I have given the teachers that same advice to go on the playground, walk around, interact with them. It doesn't have to be in such isolation. Right. This is valuable time that other teachers don't get at different levels to bond with their kids. So I'm with you. Being in leadership and being away from the students does take away a huge part of why most of us even became educators at all. But I do think that you can strike a balance if you are that all in, fully engaged administrator and not just ruling from the office, the office in the front, and you're really actually going out to interact. There is a balance where you can get that. So I do have this question for you though as we close out our teacher talk. So what does the 12-year teacher who wants to go into leadership do when maybe your new administrator isn't acknowledging that leadership that occurred prior to their reign?
I mean, you either can, like, I was like, gotcha. Because at that point, like, I think that I felt like my reputation preceded me. And the fact that you're calling me in to figure out what it is and you need me to be on your advisor team and all that. Before that conversation, I was like, okay, well, now I see what this is. So that was a clear indication that you're not really interested in what I have to offer. Like, that's what I thought. Now, if I was still interested, that means I would be going to another school.
Right. You have to. Yeah. And that's for anybody out there. Like, if
I wanted to start over, then I would not start over under someone who is questioning my abilities in the beginning.
Right. Because
the person that had an idea of my pulled me in before you about it. I wasn't thinking nothing about it. So, keep it going or start over but I'm not going to reprove in the same place.
Right, and I don't think it would even be starting over. I think at that point, you're giving the new place your resume, and they're saying, oh, okay.
This is what I've
Rather
done.
than a person who's in the building with you still talking about, show me, show me, show me.
Right, right.
Maybe it could have been, here's my resume to you. I realized that you're new. Like, you just got here,
and
you
I
may not understand.
Thought, I was like, oh, wait. Maybe I should have brought, but then I was like, I felt like that would have been a move, like a real petty, because at that point, you already know what's up. Like, it's been a year. Like, I feel like if you saw it in me, you would have seen it by now. And if you don't, you're lost. Like, I'm not going to show you my resume for that. No, you can Google me, probably, and plenty of things will come up.
Yeah, but I think, maybe just a reflective refresh of that.
Mm-hmm. So you think after that conversation, show me
or
your
maybe
leadership?
even going into the conversation, if you already knew that they were a year, they'd only been there a year and they didn't really have and clearly the individual has heard about you or a buzz about you around, because we always know, like, I knew who they thought the good teachers were when I first came to, when I went to Central and when I went to Temple. Like, I knew who they already had when I went to the high school. Every place I went to, there was always a precursor of, okay, these are your go-to teachers. These are the ones who are going to get it done. These are the hard workers. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that happened prior to this individual
Okay, so
starting.
I'll tell you what this was. It was a move to put me in a different position than the one I wanted. So he wanted me to apply for a department chair position, which I've already been in.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not doing that again. Like, in my mind, I was like, check.
Oh, so you felt like that was his slick way of trying to push you towards that because
towards what he wanted me to do.
Right, his agenda instead of
I don't
yours.
think so. I think that by him saying, show me your leadership was more so, and he goes, and all the department chair positions are opening. And so I'm like, okay, yes. Yeah. That ain't the position I'm talking about, but great. So I'm like, I felt like I was done playing those kind of games. And I also, like, coming from we talked about sorority last, but coming from sorority, I know the game to play. And I feel like when enough is enough, there's no more games to play at this point. It's like either it is or it's not. And if you're saying it's not, then...
Right.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I see what you're saying. That would have been...
But if there wasn't any... If it was a brand new person who was questioning if you... Because I feel like that question was definitely like a backhanded slap because you already know what I could do. Like, we had worked together on projects already throughout the years. So, like, show me your leadership wouldn't even be a question that you would ask. Now, if you were brand new and I'm coming to your office saying, hello, nice to meet you, just to let you know, this is what then I feel like, yeah, that would be appropriate. But after seeing it and doing it, like, nobody stopped working when the new person came in. Like,
right. No, I see what you're saying. I was just trying to think of advice for the listeners.
Oh, yeah.
You know, how they could, if they feel like they're in a position where, because, administrators change all the time.
They do.
You really could get caught in a cycle of restarting.
I do. Someone told me that when your principal leaves, you probably should too. I've heard that, because especially if you had a certain something with that principal that you enjoyed or that you are used to, because whatever comes after that is going to be probably opposite or something totally different. And it's not, you're still going to have to get used to something different in the place where you're most comfortable. So that's it's probably best just to be like, let me go to, and I've seen that too, like new principal and everybody's like, okay, she's leaving, peace out, because I'm not trying to do whatever this new thing is happening.
Right.
I don't know.
And that's a matter of taking care of yourself. And that's a matter of, you know, my daddy always says, you know, you got to be careful about that loyalty, because nobody, while we're not wanting to leave because of a principal or because of something that we love about a place, will that same person make the same decision based on you?
Nope.
And they won't. So
we can't expect that, but we do.
Yeah, for sure.
We definitely do. But I do recommend, like, if you are early on and you're trying to move in that direction, put in the work. It doesn't have to be, look what I've done, but there should always, the sign of a good leader is that they're looking to grow more leaders. Mm-hmm. And that was one thing that I really appreciate about the mentor that I had the second principal I had, was that she was like combing through the whole faculty for people that she could grow into leadership. And that's basically in the whole county. That's what she's done consistently. They're all principals. They're all she's just like she was like a factory for successful leadership, and specifically people of color. And so that was really cool. And it was really great to serve under someone like that, because then you know the value of investing in people versus the investing in what can you do for me at this time thing. Because she didn't even know what kind of administrator. She was like, I'm trying to get a superintendent this round. Like, she was like, what can we do? And literally the leadership test, like, people took it and never even studied and was like, I know it all. Because she took us from the beginning to the end of how the school was run. She didn't have to do that.
Right.
Like, I didn't have to sit in there either. Like, if you're interested though, and that's offered, by all means take it up. Free education, free mentorship is always great for growing and being able to express what your goals are, you know. So how did you get into leadership? I don't think you've told that story.
I was just always doing something. Mm-hmm. I was always just a self-starter. I always just, even if I weren't the team leader, I was always leading and guiding unofficially. I was always starting. So even as a teacher, what I did at the high school, I'll tell you those things. I did the same thing as a teacher. I would just start, just get a group of kids together and just do something. Like, I was just always bringing teachers together just to do something productive for kids or productive for the staff. It was just things like that. And people just saw my leadership qualities outside of me having to be in a leadership position with the title. So I was fortunate enough to have people that recognized that in me and just always looking to better our school and do things for our kids. That's basically the way I did it. And I also had a mentor who was always, you know, just coaching me on the side, and that was in the building with me or at the board office. It was always somebody somewhere just speaking life and guiding me. And then somebody, after doing all that for 7 years in the classroom, like every year I was starting something new. And there was a position that opened and I was just talking to my mentor. I was like, I think I would be good at that. And that
was like graduation code.
And she was like, your name came up, but you need to go tell them. You know, so they had just recognized just from my own, again, personal efforts. It wasn't that I was just running around chasing somebody else's agenda. I kind of created my own agenda of what I thought was important or what I saw that was lacking. Because, Lord, I tell the teachers all the time, please just let me know what you see, because y'all think I can see everything, but I can't. So if it's something that you see that needs to be done, you need to just open your mouth and tell me.
Right.
I have never met a principal yet, and I've had 11 principals. I've never met a principal yet that looked at a teacher and was like, no, you can't do that, or no,
right.
Bring the ideas. Again, that was just coming from a servant's heart.
I think that is important. I feel like having candor is like a very important, I think it goes a long way. And I think when people are looking, principals, I've luckily been around principals who always want some sort of like feedback from, or a council of people who they want opinions on. I've always been on those where it's like, I have you here because I know that what you say is going to be what you really think. And, it hasn't always been the prettiest flower, but it always is like, this is what I'm feeling, and this is my perception, and take it or leave it. And so I think that for me, I would always want to work under someone who is okay with me having honesty, because I can't lie anyway. And I'm not in the business of making people just feel good because they're in a certain position either. So I'm not a butt kisser, and I'm not, but I will help you if it makes sense, and if it's like for the good of the children. But I really do think that some of the reasons why I had to step back was because I think that there was a push to do the good for the good of the school. And I was like, but what about the kids? So for me, I'm like, this boy needs this. And it's like, he can't. There's no space to retake a class. Think about the whole school. Think about how big the classes are going to be if everybody can retake a class and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, but how can you ignore the needs of the individual just for the good of the school? Like, things need to be changed. So I almost felt like the system is so broken. I don't know how to fix it. And I'd be really upset with that, with being okay with that.
Yes.
So that was the main thing about that. But new people, definitely just keep working, keep letting your light shine, keep being honest, and also put in the work. Also get experience in the classroom so that when you open your mouth, you know what you're talking about. I think teaching tool belt kicks in after the 3rd year. So like, get your tool belt up first.
Right.
And then, I understand a master's is great, but a master's is not experience either. So, that. Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to give us I'm typing a little summary right now. Oh, a summary.
Yeah. So our next segment, ladies and gentlemen, we are trying to decide our new name for this segment of our podcast, and we need your help. So there is a big pull and push and just a feeling on our heart. We feel like there's a move in our hearts to include this section to the podcast, and it used to be known as Tea Shines for the Soul. But we're thinking that we might want to name it something different,
right?
This year. We don't know. Some of the options are light for your soul, shine for your soul, or
I don't know. So
refresh your soul.
So the essence is about health, like women's health
and self-care,
but not only the medical part of health, just like healthy lifestyles.
Right.
I think.
Right. So the overview of it is all about self-care. That might mean health. That might mean That might mean mental health. That might mean, exercising. That might mean taking a bath. That might mean drinking some wine at night. We are going to actually work on categorizing it and talk about the levels of self-care. We made that up. So we're going to kind of talk about what's like that base, that surface, those quick fixes. And then we're going to talk about that deeper self-care that really helps us get to the core of who we are and, help us improve who we are. Right. So we're going to post a poll or a question on our Instagram and Facebook, because we would love if you have an idea about something that you want to discuss, or two, a suggestion for what this segment could be called. We would love your help, because this is the podcast for the people. So we want to hear what the people got to say. So we will be very excited to hear what you think this segment should be.
Absolutely.
But today, for this segment with the unknown name, we are going to, that's the only thing they're going to see when it be on. We are going to talk about checkups. So,
time for your checkup.
Checkup. Shout out to Dr. McStuffins. So, it's funny. I was talking to some other women one day, and I was like, I do a really good job with my dental checkups. I feel like, because they're every 6 months, they are very great about calling to remind you. Anybody who knows me knows I like to cheese all the time. I'm always smiling, so
smiling.
So you got to have these teeth right if I'm gonna be smiling all the time. So definitely dental hygiene is on point, okay? Because I'm sure that is because it's so visible. We know about the cavities. We know about halitosis. We don't want to get it.
But how many people? I know a lot of people who are scared of the dentist.
Oh, really? But I
feel like they don't want to hear drills. And they don't want to. So they do put off going to the dentist.
But I feel like out of all the checkups that we should be keeping up with, that is the one that I inevitably keep up with.
An eye.
Great.
And eyes.
Yeah. And eyes. Because I always want a new pair of glasses. So if you have followed me for any time, you see that I switch them up a lot. And in order for me to get this vein fix of new glasses, I got to get these eyes checked for an update prescription. So again, it's all about the outward. Like, I'm good about these teeth. I want those to be pretty. I need my glasses to be on point. But when it comes to the inward, I'm not for sure I do a great job at taking care of the things that are beyond me, the eye.
And see, I know I have to go to the endocrinologist every 6 months, because otherwise my prescription runs out. So that, so that's one that I know I cannot ever. I can miss the dental, I can miss the eye, I can stretch it out a little bit or whatever, but I cannot miss that one.
Right.
But that one is still not like a full check. It's blood work, but it's testing for specific things.
Right.
So, also the gyno, who goes to that one every year?
So I used to be really good about it till I had babies.
I did too. Then I'm like, I don't need
no
that
more of you.
I'm done with
babies.
Like
you've seen me from the rooter to the tutor.
Yeah, leave me alone. Thanks.
Look, you have been all up in here. We're good. Y'all already checked that.
That's enough.
But if we just really do a little of a flashback of some things that have been occurring in my personal family recently. I had my cousin whom I was very close, who passed from breast cancer. So that was like a red flag for me. Like, okay, wake up call. My mom had the ovarian, the stage 1 ovarian, cervical cancer.
And so did mine.
The beginnings of it. They both had that happening.
Yeah.
And then not only did my mom have it, her two sisters also had a bout with it, and it was like a wave. Like the older sisters had dealt with it for years and had not even gotten a checkup, like bleeding past menopause, and had not gotten a checkup. I don't know if that's that thing we do as women where we try to trick ourselves into thinking, oh, I really haven't hit that yet. You know, maybe she was like trying to preserve older, like 50, 60, 55, 60.
Like I can still have a baby.
Maybe. Like maybe it's that woman thing where we're like, okay.
Not yet for me.
But you know, my sister, she'll probably kill me for saying this. I don't care, but it's just
Is she listening?
Probably not. So it's just just something about our mental. Like she said, I feel like a part of my womanhood is going to end when my cycle ends. And so perhaps my aunt felt like, oh, this is my womanhood continuing because I'm still having my bleeding happening. But it was actually a health issue.
Oh, Lord.
She ended up having to have radiation. She had the same thing of her cervix that my mama had. So she and her sisters all had surgeries within a year.
Oh, my.
For the same exact thing. So, you know, that's something. What was the other thing that has happened recently? Oh, with myself. And we'll talk more about it. But clearly heart disease runs in my family. My dad had it. My grandmama had it. And I was experiencing some serious chest pains, and that's what has kind of given us a little bit of an inspiration to have this segment, because I was having chest pains, and my brain flashed back to this article that said the most likely time of women to have heart attacks is 35 to 37 in that window, and I'm right up in that joker. So, you know, thank goodness for the article. And I found out that women's symptoms of a heart attack are different from a man's symptoms. So it's all kinds of things. But as I was laying in that emergency room with these chest pains, it made me realize, oh my gosh, I haven't gotten my checkup.
Right.
Like I haven't done a physical and again, since I had babies. I don't know what happened. I guess because we go so much as we're pregnant, it's like, whew, I'm done with that now.
Enough. And then also just like, and we talked a little bit about this past weekend about just, we don't have excuses to not know stuff. Like, to be ignorant is not okay when you're an adult and you have kids.
Right.
You know, and so many of us but put it off on our spouses. Like, oh, that's their area.
Right.
And, you know, or we take it on, but we're like, we don't really care. Some people don't care to know the details about stuff because maybe it's scary, or maybe it's something they don't want to address, or maybe it's, you know, whatever it is. But I really do think that we are at the place where it's time to grow up, and it's time to really look at whatever area that you feel you're lacking and get informed. Like, to be informed, even just about symptoms of health, or about what to look for, or about, like, because it's not okay to be on, you know, on the hospital bed being like, oh, I don't know what my body was feeling like.
Right.
I don't know if I had
that's the
tingling in my arm, you know, whatever. And I think we talked about this a while ago about waking up and recognizing every part of your body and how it feels, and taking a mental
attention to it.
Because there's so much that we don't pay attention to either. That's a part of that self-care.
Yeah, that's that being present. Like, we already talk about mindfulness, and we're going to talk about all these subjects this season.
Meditation.
Look, this season. We're talking about, you know, mindfulness and being present and paying attention to your breathing. Even leading up to, I have the Apple Watch, and you do too, and leading up to the day that I went to the emergency room, my Apple Watch was going off like crazy, telling me to breathe. I ignored it. Like, there are ways, like you just said, there is no excuse for us to be living. Ignorance is not bliss when it comes to our health.
And it's not an excuse either, because when it comes a knocking, they ain't gonna say, oh, she didn't know, pass her up. Like, no, that's not how it works, especially if it's genetic. And heaven forbid it's genetic and you never even, like, asked about it.
Right.
And your parents never told you about it. You could have easily gone, seen, been clear, but no. Instead, you wait, and maybe your parents try to hide stuff. Like, I know that's a thing, too.
Yeah, for sure.
That I experienced, and it's not a Southern thing. I'm not going to say that, but if I experienced it since I've been in the South, where there's parents who say, we're not going to tell them about it. I don't want to get them worked up.
Yeah.
But these are adults.
Yeah. Grown.
Grown who might need to know not only to help you out, but like for their own knowledge. And people take that to the deathbed.
Yeah.
And you be like, I don't know what happened. They died of something.
Yes, it's crazy. So, the moral of today's episode or today's segment is just take care of yourself. Go make sure you have a primary care, what am I trying to say? Primary care physician. Somebody that you trust. Someone who is thorough. Like I'm learning as I get older, thoroughness counts.
And I feel like someone who educates as well.
Yeah, will teach you through the things, not just give you information and say, peace out. Like you need somebody who can teach you through whatever it is you're going through. Clearly, I'm saying this in front of the world. My goal in the next 5 days is to get my appointment scheduled for my physical. I need a full body, top to bottom, head to toe physical.
And Alicia and Brittany sat there and did that the first day back to school. And I was like, oh, like I can't stand talking on the phone with people. So like that bothers me anyway. If there's they just went and called all the things. Like,
and made all the appointments.
I was like, I'm gone. But my thing is, I went as far to make an eye appointment. I went so far because the option was online. And I was like, great, click. And then it was like, call to set it. I was like, nope. It's something about that part. I think it's the hold. I don't like being on hold and waiting because I feel like there's other things I could be doing. And then so these are excuses, reasons why I can't do stuff. Clearly saying it to you.
Call it what it is, girl.
But
first step is admitting
it's not okay.
It's
not. And you're right. These appointments need to be made. And, we need to address it.
I'm telling you, sitting in the emergency room, I made a bunch of appointments. Ask me how many I made it to. I missed all of them. I missed all the appointments that I made.
So you actually set up the appointment.
Again, that's a part of that non-self-care. Because I set the appointments and I missed the dates. I had it in my head like I know it's coming up and then I missed it. So a part of my self-care, I need to take a picture of it and post it probably. A part of my self-care is to not be running around here confused. Because being confused can also bring stress.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a part of my self-care. You may not be able to see that is on my wall. This is my calendar. And I actually felt really good. Like after I wrote it up, I could feel like a letting down of stress in my chest, in my back. Like I could feel a relaxing of me projecting out for months to see what was in store. So now when people call me or people say, can you do a book vending on this day, I can just nope or yes. And then other times I'm like, I can't remember. Oh Lord, do I have something? Lord, it seems like I got something on today. It seems like I got something. That's not self-care.
That's not okay. No.
I'm adding stress. Again, that is what your new segment that you're going to name is going to be called. That's what it's about. Self-care. Would you think keeping a calendar as self-care? No. Most people would not think of that as self-care. But it was when I finally took the time to stop.
Right.
and write it down so that it was clear and I could just look. And yes, I have Google Calendar. I have all those things. But it was something about writing it down.
Oh, yeah.
That helps me.
And another part that we talked about, too, is like not only our health and our, but also what we need to do to take care of the business behind it. Like, do you know about your insurance? Do you know about life insurance? Do you know about because not knowing is also, that's a constant in the back of your mind. I should be knowing this. I should be doing this, but you don't. And so think about the amount of stress that might add if anything were to ever happen to you. You have no clue what insurance you're on. You have no clue what your deductible is. You have no clue what, any of those details are as well. So it's not always about a bath bomb and a chocolate bar to make you feel better. I'm sorry, ladies. I know you love it. I know
it's a quick fix.
I know you run around tagging everything as #self-care, but sometimes it is alleviating a lot of things you are ignorant about that can make you definitely taking care of what you know and what you need to know and not worrying. Removing worry and stress and confusion.
Right. So, I think we are going to be all over this segment.
Grown woman things.
It is important. I'm telling you, it's important. And, it's needed. The conversation is needed. So I'm really excited about it because I'm sure I'm going to be convicted through many of our conversations.
And the only reason why we want to talk about this stuff is because it really is relatable to us. It's not like, I'm a pro and I know all about it. I'm going to school you guys on this. No, but guess what? Good thing about being educators is we have this special ability to read something and turn it into something that makes sense. That's basically the skill.
That's our superpower.
That's actually what teaching is. It don't matter what it is. Give me a topic. I will turn it into a lesson.
Right. That's right.
So that's pretty cool. And so if you guys have topics that you really want us to break down for you, by all means, I'll do it. I'll do it, and I know she will. Especially if it's something cool and it fits into this category of just the more you know.
Or even
the more you know.
Even any of our segments, let me run them down for you real quick as we are getting ready to close. Any of our segments, Friend Fix, Teacher Talks, Elephant in the...
Teacher, talk it out. Teacher... Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Teacher Talk, Elephant in the Room, Mystery Segment, Light for Your Soul, Shine for Your Soul, or T-Shots for Your Soul, or whatever you guys come up with, because we as educators are so creative, so I know y'all will come up with something cute. Anything that fits. Teacherpreneurs, if you know a teacherpreneur, we want
teacher style and fashion.
Right.
Boot cut workout with white shoes.
They are not white. They're blush pink. So if there are any topics or things you want us to talk about or people you want us to speak to, we will seek them out. We are very excited about our new beginning. It feels different. It feels, I don't know. Something about this third year of charm, boy. We ready.
Oh, no.
We ready. Oh, okay. So,
well, and also what I did want to say was heartfelt thank you. We recognize that there are people who've been riding with us since day one. Lord. And we literally, it's hard to believe that the thing that we put into motion actually is being downloaded all over the world many times over. And, my word of the year is multiply. You understand that means that you...
I never told what my word was.
You did it? What's
mine
your
is
word?
execute.
Oh, well, yes. I love that word for you.
Execute.
Yes.
And I've been executing, girl.
You have.
Yeah. Sorry.
You
gotta dance for yourself sometime.
Absolutely. No, you have been executing like I have never seen before. So this is congratulations on already checking that word off your list.
We're gonna do it all year. All year. I'm here.
And I've also done some multiplication.
Facts. Hashtag multiplication facts. Congratulations to you.
Thanks.
All right. How many days are we in?
16.
All right, 16 days in. We going.
That's 4 times 4.
We going strong, girl. We going strong. You are so silly.
But no, literally, we do appreciate listeners. We want to do more. We are looking forward to doing more. A couple things up our sleeves for listeners and new friends of the show. But we appreciate it so much. We appreciate our affiliates, Charlie Rocks, Speak Tees, Teach Your Heart Out Conference,
the Right Stuff
Chicks. So all of that, like, it has been a great start. Yes. And that's all I can say. All
right, so now it's time for our announcements.
Yes, what you got?
So please don't forget, we are going to have new teacherpreneurs featured. Mm-hmm. If you have any successful teacherpreneur that you would like to hear how they got their start in stepping out of the educational realm, I mean, because we get real comfortable in there, and sometimes our step out is still dealing with the educational realm. So if you want to hear how somebody got started in that, let us know who that person is. Tag them, send us an instant message, or get in our DM and let us know. Also, Teach Your Heart Out Atlanta is coming, where I will be a presenter.
Yes, girl.
For leaders and for aspiring leaders. Again, we were talking about leadership today. I mean, what better way to get started in leadership than to come get some professional development in a non-traditional way about what that looks like and what you can already be doing to prepare for your time in leadership.
And Teach Your Heart Out is tons of fun, too.
It is. It's a big party.
They have a hoot of a howler.
Yes.
Howler. What's that?
Oh, sorry. I'm over here straining at my self-care, my calendar. 29th through the 30th is when Teach Your Heart Out Atlanta is happening.
March 29th through 30th.
Yes, March. Sorry. Thank you. March 29th through 30th. Be there or be square. Also.
That's square.
Okay, no. I'm not doing this with you. So our marriage retreat registration is open. Please go to our Facebook page.
Yeah, Sweet Tea and Sunshine on Facebook and Sweet Tea and Sunshine Podcast on Instagram.
Yes, you can definitely find out the information there, please.
Oh, and also the Tea Shines, our website. You can go there. There's
www.thetshines.
Yes.
With an s.com. So please go there for more information. You'll have a detailed overview of what all is included in the cost. We do have a cost increase February 5th. Ooh. So please get in there so you will not be have to pay the higher price. It's a great time as well. So just a quick overview or review of what we talked about.
Yay.
The first thing is, if you still wearing bell-bottom yoga pants, throw them away like Sweet Tea did. I'm a little sad about that. As far as leadership, our Teacher Talk segment, find a good mentor. Seek opportunities in leadership. And sometimes you can lead without the title. So look for opportunities to lead without necessarily having that title. That is still building your resume. Get experience. So in the classroom first, so that you actually have the credibility and you know what you're talking about. Yeah. And, let it be known to the powers that be that you are seeking opportunities in leadership. If you're not one to go out and just create your own leadership opportunities, let somebody know what you are aspiring to do. They might be able to give you some ideas. You might be blessed to have a principal like the one that Miss Sharifa had. Also on our self-care segment that y'all are coming up with, the title for, set your appointments all at one time. Just knock it out. Take some time designated. It used to be for me, it used to be that I would set all of my appointments for spring break.
Oh.
Back in the days when I was doing good. But clearly.
Yeah, mine would be like the first week we get out for summer.
Yeah, so
then,
clearly
so
I had
done.
kids and then I stopped. Ignorance is not bliss as it comes to health.
No, ladies.
And self-care comes in different levels. We got the quick fixes, and then we have the deep-rooted healing as far as self-care is concerned. So we are looking forward to all of our future shows, and we look forward to hearing from you all. And until next time,
bye.
We're out.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to Sweet Tea and Sunshine. If you have questions or comments or want to contribute, you can email us at theteashine@gmail.com. TheteaShine@gmail.com. Thanks so much for joining us. I can't wait till next time. Bye.